New Zealand First has come out opposed to the new parliamentary building and telling New Zealand again this old and tired, ridiculous argument that we need fewer MPs. Let's first get Dominic George, I know you're trying to get the bits for this one, to the parliamentary building.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we being the taxpayers, ratepayers of New Zealand, pay $6 million a year to hire Bowen House. Bowen House is a German-owned building, so it's actually, we are paying a foreign entity $6 million a year for that. They're talking about building a new building for around $100 million. So 17 years of rent would pay for that.
Okay.
And I would just say, for most of us, if we were buying our house,
yeah,
if we bought a house rather than renting, and we knew that after 17 years we'd owe that, we'd probably do
That's
it.
logical.
Yeah, okay. So
I mean, it might seem like a big outlay at the start, and it is. We're not talking small.
But we also then own it.
Exactly.
It's an asset that the country owns.
Yeah. Rent to a foreign entity, as you say. So, okay, let's put that.
So we'll shake on that one?
Well, let's do that.
All right, so let's get on to MPs.
Sorted.
So what do you think about lowering the number of MPs?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just slash them. I reckon, what do we got now? 121 or 2, yeah, with the hangover. So I would say let's just take 40 off. Let's take a third of that away and let's bring it down to 80. Because, I mean, most of them are dead wood, sitting at the back doing nothing, living off the taxpayer.
Well, that's a different argument, though.
Is it?
Yeah, because you've got two arguments here. Your first argument is fewer MPs,
yeah,
but your second argument is the MPs we've got a crap.
Yeah.
Now, what if they were all fantastic MPs? Like, so
what if both things can be true?
You know, but what isn't your argument then we need better people to be MPs?
What do ones in the country this size? What do you need 120 MPs
Okay, well, let's look at that. What level would you like to go back to? Like, what sort of age, what era?
What are you talking about?
Like in the 40s we had 80.
Yeah.
You know, and up to the 80s, 90s, we had 97, 98, 99 MPs.
So let's go back to the good old. Let's go back to the 40s.
Okay.
Let's go 80.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Let's bring up a little graph, shall we?
Shall we? He comes armed with graphics. This is unfair.
The thing. Now this is going to sit up for a while because I'm going to speak to it, and I'm going to educate Dominic George here and Ron Mark and any other
Ron's
idiot
a good man. Leave him alone.
Who thinks this? It's because it's not intelligent conversation. It's just rhetoric.
Oh well, ladies and gentlemen, rest assured, Pat Brittenden is going to bring some intelligence into the conversation.
So you can see our chart there, the election years, and I've gone back down to 1940. I haven't done every year, but you can see the cycle, right?
Yeah.
And you can see the number of MPs there go from kind of 121 at the high, which is what we are right now, down to about 80. And then beside that, you can see the New Zealand population.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then beside that, you can see how many MPs
per head of population.
And at the moment, right, in the 2014 election, there was about 37,000 MPs for every citizen.
Yeah.
Sorry, 37,000 citizens
for each MP.
I would be agreeing with you. Whereas if you go
back
back to the 1940s, there was actually 22,000 citizens for every MP. So actually, if you look at the number today, literally based on the population I looked at yesterday, at the moment there are 39,144 citizens for every MP we've got. What that means, Mr. George,
you go on sum it up.
You can come back off the graphic there, Tim. What that means, as I point my pointy at you,
exactly,
is that we have fewer MPs today per capita, which means we have harder access to our MPs today than we've ever had in the history of this country, which means if we had fewer MPs, it would be even worse. So
how many people actually go to their MP?
But my supposition would be, my idea would be, actually, I'm not actually also suggesting we need more, but I think this argument of just we need less, we need fewer, we need fewer, we need fewer, is because people are unaware that actually when you look based on the population size, there's fewer MPs today than there've ever been based on the population. But our population has gone up 300 to 400% since the 1940s. The number of MPs have gone up 50%.
Yeah, okay, so the thing is the population's only going to get bigger. They're not going to add more MPs on, so those numbers are going to be skewed in
that's not
future.
That's not necessarily true.
Why?
Because the number of MPs is also based around the number of people in the electorates at the moment. If you get an electorate, like if a part of the country explodes,
just goes,
you might easily have 4 or 5 new electorates in that area. So look, my desire for doing this was to actually go, not aim at wrong mark, but all those people who often talk about, fewer MPs is actually technically the way the citizens are serviced by their MPs. There are fewer MPs today than there has ever been based on the population size. And I don't think there's a good argument, Because even if you went to the financial argument, that means there's more people, there's more taxpayers, there's more income, the country has more money, we can afford more. It's not like
so therefore we can afford to have another 40 odd MPs or whatever it is in the House.
Yeah, compared to the 1940s.
Yeah,
I'm not advocating 40 more from
80,
now.
No, but I'm talking about my ideal number of around about 80 up to your
What this comes back to a little bit as well is that stupid argument, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Dominic George, but that stupid argument of smaller government is better government. It's a nonsense. Can I give you the truth?
Oh, please do.
I'll give you the truth.
You so far.
Better government is better government.
Yeah, that's true. No matter if there's 10 or 150.
Yes, sometimes smaller government is better. Yeah. Sometimes
depends
bigger
on the
government
quality of
is
the
better.
MP.
And it depends on what you're talking about. Would you like to have smaller government when it comes to the police, to the fire police officer?
Well, it depends. If the person in the top job's making the right decision, then let them have their way. Do you know what I mean? It's like decision to decisions, like you were trying to say.
Well, I just think that we wanted to make it clear today.
It's about head of population, people. That's what he's saying. That's what it's about. It's all about head of population.
Compared to the size of the population we've got right now, there are fewer MPs than there've ever been. And the argument of smaller government is better government is nonsense. And if you
I'm not using that argument.
No, I'm not saying you're doing that, Dom. But if you ever have that come up in conversation, just think about what government is. Government is the police, our nurses, our doctors, so that all covers government. Mm-hmm. We don't want smaller, when it comes to those
but
areas.
We're just talking about members of parliament sitting in the House, though, aren't we? And at the moment, there's 120 of them. I mean, let's be honest. What do 40 of those actually do?
So you're like, I'm staying here.
Yeah, man, I'm staying with my 80. I mean, you've got your facts and figures. That's cool.
I've got my facts and figures.
I'm with you, Ron, buddy.
And you've got your opinion and conjecture.
Absolutely.